Welcome to Book Summary Channel, Rapid Readers Hub, unearthing book summaries in bite-sized videos. Welcome, dear book lovers, to another captivating episode of Rapid Readers Hub. Today, we're diving into a book that's been making waves in the literary world, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Now, who is Mark Manson, you may ask? He's an American self-help author and blogger, known for his candid and no-nonsense approach to life's biggest questions. The book falls under the self-help genre, but it's far from your typical self-improvement book. It's a refreshing slap in the face for all of us, so caught up in the more is better mentality. Instead of sugarcoating the harsh realities, Manson serves them up raw and unfiltered. The book's central theme? Well, it's all about learning to focus on what truly matters in life and letting go of everything else. What sets this book apart is its brutally honest and often humorous approach to self-improvement. So, are you ready to delve into the subtle art of not giving a fuck? The first chapter, intriguingly titled Don't Try, sets the tone for the book. In this chapter, the author, Mark Manson, proposes a rather unconventional approach to life. Instead of advocating for relentless positivity, he suggests the opposite. Don't try to be positive all the time. The chapter delves into the idea that the pursuit of positivity often leads to the opposite effect. It's a paradox that Manson refers to as the feedback loop from hell. Here's how it works. You feel bad about feeling bad. You become anxious about feeling anxious, and you get angry about getting angry. This cycle, this feedback loop, only amplifies the negative emotions you're experiencing. To further illustrate this point, Manson introduces the concept of the backwards law. The law suggests that the more you pursue feeling better all the time, the less satisfied you become, as pursuing something only reinforces the fact that you lack it in the first place. It's a bold assertion that turns conventional wisdom on its head. Manson doesn't suggest that we should embrace negativity, but rather, he urges us to accept it as a natural part of life. By doing so, we can break free from the feedback loop and learn to navigate life's ups and downs with a more balanced perspective. So what's the takeaway from chapter 1? It's not about cultivating an artificial sense of positivity. It's not about denying or suppressing negative emotions. Rather, it's about embracing the full spectrum of human emotions. It's about understanding that it's okay not to feel okay all the time. This chapter serves as a foundation for the rest of the book, setting the stage for a deeper exploration of these ideas. It encourages us to question our deeply ingrained beliefs about happiness, success, and self-worth, and invites us to approach life with a fresh, perhaps more nuanced perspective. So, Chapter 1 challenges you to stop trying so hard. Chapter 2, Happiness is a Problem, takes us deeper into Manson's philosophy. In this chapter, Manson challenges the conventional wisdom that tells us the ultimate goal is to be happy. He posits that this relentless pursuit of happiness often leads to dissatisfaction. It's a paradox, isn't it? The more we chase happiness, the less likely we are to attain it. This is the crux of the pain paradox, a concept that Manson introduces to us. He argues that suffering and struggle are inevitable aspects of life. There's no escaping it. Instead of shying away from these struggles, we should embrace them. They shape our character, our resilience, our grit. The pain paradox tells us that it's through dealing with life's challenges that we find purpose and meaning. It's through this journey that we grow. Manson also explores the happiness fallacy. This is the mistaken belief that we must always be happy, that there's something wrong with us if we're not. It's a fallacy because it's an unrealistic expectation. Life is a spectrum of emotions, not just happiness. We have ups and downs, highs and lows. Happiness is fleeting, it comes and goes. It's not a permanent state, and that's okay. What Manson suggests is that we should focus less on chasing happiness and more on cultivating a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. Happiness is not a destination, but rather a byproduct of living a life that aligns with our values and passions. This chapter is a wake-up call, shaking us out of our comfort zones. It's telling us that it's okay to feel pain, to struggle, to fail. It's through these experiences that we grow and find fulfillment. So, Chapter 2 encourages you to embrace the struggles of life. It's a refreshing perspective, isn't it? One that liberates us from the burden of constantly trying to be happy. Instead, it invites us to engage fully in the journey of life, with all its ups and downs. It's a journey worth taking, don't you think? Chapter 3, titled, You Are Not Special, might sound harsh, but it's a reality check. We're diving into a chapter that serves as a sobering wake-up call. It's a reminder that we are not the center of the universe, and it's a lesson many of us need to learn. The author, Mark Manson, starts by discussing a concept he calls the entropy of life. In simple terms, entropy is a measure of disorder in a system. Applied to our lives, it suggests that life is naturally chaotic, unpredictable, and beyond our control. We can plan, strategize, and prepare all we want, but life always has a way of throwing curveballs at us. This is not to discourage us, but to help us understand that it's completely normal for things not to go as planned. Manson encourages us to embrace the chaos, to accept it as a part of life, and to adapt and grow from it. The chapter then moves on to the tyranny of exceptionalism. We live in a society that constantly feeds us the narrative that we are unique, that we are special, that we are destined for greatness. But this constant pressure to be exceptional can have a damaging effect. It can lead to feelings of inadequacy when we fail to meet these unrealistic expectations. Manson argues that it's healthier to accept that we are not special, that we are just ordinary people living ordinary lives. This doesn't mean that we can't strive for greatness or work hard to achieve our goals, but it does mean that we should not base our self-worth on being extraordinary. Accepting our ordinariness allows us to focus on what truly matters, like building meaningful relationships and pursuing our passions. It allows us to find joy and fulfillment in the simple things in life, which is often where true happiness lies. So, Chapter 3 reminds us that we are all part of the same human experience. We are not special, and that's perfectly okay. It's time to embrace our ordinariness, to find contentment in the chaos, and to live our lives without the pressure of being exceptional. Let's continue our journey with the remaining chapters. As we move forward, we delve deeper into Mark Manson's unconventional wisdom, delivered with his signature blend of raw honesty and rib-tickling humor. In Chapter 4, Manson introduces us to the concept of the value of suffering. Here, he underscores the fact that pain and suffering are inevitable parts of life. Rather than avoiding them, we should learn to bear them with grace. The key to a fulfilled life is not the avoidance of pain, but the ability to choose the pain we are willing to endure. Next, we come across Chapter 5 titled, You Are Always Choosing. Manson emphasizes that we are always in control of our choices. He encourages us to take responsibility for our actions and their consequences. He believes that our power lies in our choices, and when we understand this, we can truly begin to shape our lives. In Chapter 6, You're Wrong About Everything, But So Am I. Manson challenges us to question our beliefs. He encourages us to accept the fact that we could be wrong in our assumptions and judgments. This acceptance, he says, opens up a world of learning and growth. As we turn the pages to Chapter 7, Failure is the Way Forward, we find an ode to the trials and tribulations of life. Manson urges us to embrace failure as a stepping stone to success. He believes that every failure brings with it a lesson that pushes us closer to our goals. Chapter 8, The Importance of Saying No, is a lesson in setting boundaries. Manson explains that saying no is not a sign of weakness, but a show of strength. It's about respecting our own time, energy, and space. When we learn to say no, we make room for the things that truly matter. In Chapter 9, And Then You Die, Manson brings us face to face with our mortality. He asks us to live each day as if it were our last, not in a reckless manner, but with a deep appreciation for the present moment. He believes that when we keep our mortality in perspective, we learn to prioritize the things that truly enrich our lives. In the final chapter, The Subtle Art of Not Giving AF***, Manson ties together all the threads from the previous chapters. He reinforces the idea that caring too much about everything only leads to stress and disappointment. Instead, we should focus our energy and attention on the things that truly matter to us and let go of the rest. Throughout these chapters, Manson gives us a fresh perspective on life. He urges us to embrace our flaws, to accept our failures, and to understand our limitations. He encourages us to question our beliefs, to take responsibility for our actions, and to make conscious choices. Above all, he teaches us the subtle art of not giving AFCK about what truly matters to us. In essence, the subtle art of not giving AF*CK is not about being indifferent. It's about being comfortable with being different. It's not about being devoid of emotions. It's about choosing what to care about. It's not about being reckless. It's about being selective with your energy and attention. Manson's book is a bold, refreshing take on self-help. It's a wake-up call to stop chasing the perfect life and instead to start living a real life. A life that is flawed, messy, and yet incredibly beautiful in its own unique way. And that brings us to the end of our journey through the subtle art of not giving a fuck. Now that we've journeyed through the book, let's reflect on some key takeaways. Firstly, we learned from the opening chapter, Don't Try, that the pursuit of success can ironically lead to failure. Instead of obsessively chasing success, we should embrace the process and the journey, appreciating the small victories along the way. The second chapter, Happiness is a Problem, taught us that the pursuit of happiness can paradoxically make us unhappy. It reminds us that life is full of ups and downs and that it's okay to experience negative emotions. In fact, it's through the struggle and the overcoming of hardships that we find true happiness. From the third chapter, You Are Not Special, we learned that we don't need to be extraordinary to lead a fulfilling life. In a world that constantly pushes us to strive for more, it's a refreshing perspective that helps us appreciate what we have and focus on what truly matters. In these remaining chapters, we delved deeper into these themes and explored other profound concepts. We learned about the importance of taking responsibility for our actions, the value of saying no, and how our values shape our life's direction. Each chapter offered unique perspective, challenging our conventional wisdom and encouraging us to rethink our approach to life. These key points from the subtle art of not giving a *CK are not just mere theories. They are practical philosophies that can be applied to our everyday lives. They teach us to focus on what truly matters, to accept our imperfections, and to embrace the struggle that life inevitably brings. By doing so, we can live a more fulfilling and contented life. So the next time you're feeling overwhelmed by the pressures of life, remember these lessons. Choose to focus on what's important to you, accept the ups and downs of life, and most importantly, learn the subtle art of not giving a *CK about the things that don't truly matter. And that wraps up our summary of the subtle art of not giving a FCK about the rest. Scene script. Before we end this episode, a quick reminder. We're all on a journey of learning, aren't we? And sometimes a simple summary can help us grasp the essence of a book without spending hours reading it. That's the magic of book summaries. Rapid Readers Hub is your one-stop destination for this literary magic. We continuously bring you insightful summaries of books from various genres, so why not subscribe and join our community of knowledge seekers? Don't forget to hit the bell icon too, so you never miss an update. Did you find this summary helpful? Did it pique your curiosity to read the whole book? If it did, give us a thumbs up. Your likes motivate us to keep doing what we do, and we love hearing from you. So feel free to drop your thoughts about this book or any book recommendations in the comments section. Thank you for joining us today. Remember to subscribe to Rapid Readers Hub for more insightful book summaries. Until next time, happy reading.